Joining us is Democratic Congressman from Colorado, Jason Crow, a veteran who serves on the Intelligence and Armed Services Committees. Congressman, thanks for being here. What do you make of the lack of information Congress has received so far throughout this entire mission?
Well, Anna, it's both a lack of information and constant contradictions by the president himself and his top advisors who are saying different things depending upon which hour it is. And also, I sit on the Intelligence Committee. I have seen battle damage assessments. I was attacked this morning on Twitter by the president's special advisor, Rick Grenell, who has said that Congress hasn't seen the full battle damage assessment. So which is it? Are they hiding it? Are they withholding it from Congress? Or are they lying to us? So there is a lot of questions here, and we're very short on answers right now.
When you have the chance to ask questions at this briefing, what do you want to learn?
Well, I think the most important question here is what is the actual strategy, if there is one, of this administration? I was an Army Ranger and a paratrooper. I served 3 combat tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. I know that America went to war for 20 years. We spent $3 trillion, over 6,000 American lives, lost credibility. Both of those wars turned out poorly by almost every measure. What are we doing here? Is the president's strategy just every 6 months to a year bomb these facilities? Are we just going to drop bombs and we'll wait for Iran to rebuild and we'll drop bigger bombs and then they'll dig deeper and then we'll drop bigger bombs? Are we going to be caught in another Middle East quagmire? Or are we going to actually have a diplomatic solution that's permanent and verifiable that ensures that Iran doesn't get a nuclear weapon? Because that is actually the only way to do this, not military bombing.
You point out how, once again, it appears the White House is at odds with its own intelligence, which, as we mentioned, indicates Iran's nuclear program was set back only 3 to 6 months, not, quote, obliterated, as the president and some members of his administration have said. I know you've seen that initial assessment. I know you won't characterize it because it's classified, but you touched on this. Can the American people trust the message from this administration? How do Americans learn the truth?
Well, I take this point so seriously. When I was a paratrooper, I was sent to war in Iraq based on distortions and lies and politicized intelligence. So I get extremely upset when I have a president and people that are at the top of our national security infrastructure that are refuting and saying that our intelligence community is lying, that is distorting, twisting the intelligence if it doesn't match their narrative, if it's not something that they want to hear, or if it's refuting their political narrative. This is so dangerous when a commander-in-chief is doing this, because when somebody talks tough in Washington, when Washington elites pound their chest and saber rattle, it's not them that has to go off and do the fighting. It's working class kids like me from the upper Midwest, from the West, from rural towns that have to pick up rifles or get into planes and do the tough, dirty work. This is very dangerous business.
You have been in the shoes of our U.S. service members. What do you make of the administration turning any question about the strikes on Iran as disrespecting the troops?
Well, it's antithetical to everything that I believe about the role of civilian control of our military. When I put on those boots and I picked up the rifle and I went to war, I needed to know that people were asking tough questions, that they were having debate, that we were being used wisely, that we had the equipment, that we had the support, and that this was actually a mission that was important for America and not some political frolic. And by the president saying that, questioning the use of the military, questioning him is the same as questioning the patriotism or the support of our troops, that is extremely dangerous rhetoric. My job as a member of Congress is to ask tough questions. My job is to go and say, you know what, I am not going to send our young men and women someplace in the world and risk their lives unless it is absolutely necessary. And I'm never going to back down from that important, solemn duty.
That job to ask tough questions, I can relate to you there as well. Thank you, Jason Crow, Congressman from Colorado. I appreciate your time, and we look forward to talking to you again soon, especially after that briefing.